for another episode, guys. On today's feature, we're going to be comparing the benefits of owning a mobile fitness franchise versus a traditional gym. So today we're going to be diving into a hot topic. I've been talking these comparisons for years, but we're going to be talking about the benefits of owning a mobile fitness franchise like VersaGym compared to the traditional brick and mortar gym model that we're so accustomed to and that so many people in franchising have gotten used to over the years. If you've ever considered owning a gym or expanding your footprint in the fitness world, this episode is going to be for you, and I'm super excited that you guys are tuning in for this. So we're going to talk about why mobile fitness is not just a trend, but in our eyes, it is the future of personal training. So let's get started. So first, we're going to talk about just the traditional brick and mortar, traditional gym fitness franchise. Obviously owning a brick and mortar gym, has its allure, and people know the concept. It feels stable. But the truth is, it comes with a lot of challenges. One of those challenges being high overhead costs. And, you got to think rent, utilities, equipment, maintenance, insurance. A small gym in a good location can easily cost you $10,000 or more in lease expenses alone per month. That's not including any staffing costs, right? And so the other thing too is competition, right? Where like people can move in across the street from you at a different shopping plaza, and now you have competition directly across the street from you. And that can definitely impact the amount of members that you have in your gym, because now there's more competition in that area. I hear from people who have been in the franchising space, specifically in fitness, complain about competition moving in nearby and it affecting their revenue. Obviously, you're going to deal with fixed location. You're tied to one spot. If the area's demographics change or competitors move in, you're stuck. In terms of areas demographics, we see demographics changing across the United States all the time now. Post-COVID, people are moving out of LA and New York and moving into Florida. So now you're seeing different variation in population in different states and towns. So that's something that you definitely want to consider. And if your gym is in one of those locations where people are leaving town, right, that might hurt business, right? Or vice versa. If your gym is in a location where people are moving into town, but you have competition that moves in, now you might be affected negatively. Obviously, then you have your staffing issues, right? So you have to manage front desk workers, trainers, cleaning staff, right? All this adds to your payroll and it adds to headaches. And let's not forget turnover. It's a constant battle where you might have people that are constantly turning over. And also, right, with a traditional gym franchise, you have a pool of clients that can go apply at 15 or 20 or 25 different fitness franchises in their town. And now you are also competing to get the best candidates for your gym, just like every other gym in your town is doing. So now you're also in competition for the best talent. Then you also have seasonality, right? Every town has their seasons, right? If you live somewhere cold, it might be the warmer months or your good season. If you live somewhere warm, it might be that the winter months are your seasonal snowbirds are the ones that are driving up revenue during those months, right? And so when you're tied to one spot, you're a lot more susceptible to the fluctuations of in season and out of season. And that's something that, you're going to have to be able to make ends meet on those slower months. Because again, there's competition going around. You have high overhead. And just because, it's slow season, your landlord is not going to lower your $10,000 per month monthly lease payment because they know it is your slow month. They're actually going to be, expecting that payment, right, on the 1st or the 15th of the month, per usual, no matter what your business is doing, whether it's thriving or it's tanking. So yeah, many gyms struggle to maintain steady revenue year round. Now, full disclosure, these challenges don't mean traditional gyms are a bad investment, but they do highlight why so many owners feel burnt out or financially stretched. There's a lot of overhead and a lot more complexity to this business model than meets the eye. So this study done post-pandemic highlights that approximately 22% of U.S. health clubs and studios permanently closed. That's around 9,000 brick and mortar facilities, right, that closed. And by January of 2022, that had also risen an additional 25%. So that means an additional 9 to 10,000 facilities closed from 2020 to 2022. So you got to really ask yourself, why is it that these gyms are closing all over the country? The government can come in and shut down your business depending on where you're located in the US. If another pandemic hits, right? You don't want to be susceptible to these type of laws when it comes to your business and your livelihood. So let's move on to what makes mobile fitness franchising different, right? So we're going to flip the script here. Let's talk a little bit about mobile fitness franchises similar to VersaGym. Let's talk about mobile fitness franchising similar to VersaGym. So first and foremost, we have to highlight just the low overhead that's involved with a mobile fitness gym, right? Where you can forget the rent. Obviously, with the mobile gym, your primary investment is your vehicle and your equipment. That's it. No lease, which means no landlord and no headache, right? No parking issues, no build out costs. There's a lot of pros that go with this business model, right? Obviously, no utilities and no property taxes. If you were to buy the building where you're going to start your gym, you would obviously have to pay property taxes on that. But also, a lot of leases actually end up including a percentage of the property taxes that the leasee has to pay for the landlord. So no property taxes here. And obviously what this does is it allows you to keep more of your revenue as profit. And what business owner does not want to have higher profit margins? And profit margins aside, I mean, take it from me, I was a personal trainer at a gym. There is nothing better than not having to deal with landlords, nothing better than having to deal with the county on utilities, having to have camera and different things to protect, obviously, your assets and equipment inside the gym. A lot of traditional brick and mortar gyms have to rely on gym memberships to be able to pay their bills, not just the personal training, which is usually what the gym owners love to do. And so because of this, you get people that come into your club paying you, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, and they don't respect your club, right? Well, when you go the mobile fitness franchising route, you don't have any of these issues. You don't have to deal with people that are not respecting the equipment that you worked so hard to pay for. Then obviously we have the flexibility. You're obviously not tied to one location. When you own a mobile fitness gym, you can move your services to where the demand is. And that is huge. That's the number one thing that our franchisees and operators notice about this business model, right? Where when you're in a traditional brick and mortar gym, there's only so many things you can do to attract new business, right? And usually what you're doing to attract new business as a brick and mortar gym, the gym across the street is also doing the same thing. So you're in constant competition, having to constantly spend a lot more money in marketing to one up the competition in your area. Well, with us, you can travel to where the demand is, right? Travel to these luxury affluent clientele neighborhoods where people will hire you as you're training someone in their driveway with your mobile gym. You'll get someone who walks by, gets your cart and hires you as well. And now you just cut your drive time in half or virtually completely because you are just going next door after your first client of the day. Right now, the neighbor hired you. And now all of a sudden you have a neighborhood where 4 or 5 homes hired you, right? And these people are paying high-end premium prices for a premium service. And there's nothing better than having that type of business model. And so with us, we obviously target luxury neighborhoods, corporate campuses, and seasonal hotspots. Obviously, with a mobile gym model, you don't have a front desk, right? So your focus can literally just be on delivering great fitness and stretch therapy experiences, not on managing front desk staff, janitors, making sure that the people are respecting your equipment. You don't have to deal with any of that, right? If the landlord is throwing a fit over, renewing your lease or whatever the heck's going on with landlords these days, you don't have to deal with any of that because you own a mobile gym. And obviously, most importantly, what I share with people that are interested in purchasing a franchise with VersaGym is the high-end clientele who value the convenience and the privacy. As a personal trainer with Anytime Fitness, people used to walk in the door, pay $40 for a gym membership. We would give them a free personal training consultation. And then these people, we would attempt to sell them personal training after their consultation. Well, someone who can afford a $40 gym membership, right, does not mean that they can necessarily afford a, $1,000 per month, $800 per month, or $1,500 per month fitness personal trainer, right? So the quality of the leads at the Anytime Fitness was really 50-50. You never really know who's going to walk in the door, who can afford it and who cannot. Because someone who's looking for a $40 gym membership, you don't really know whether they have the means to hire a trainer or not. So now we kind of do away with that completely because our services are so niche that we know the people that were going to their homes can afford these services 9 times out of 10. And that really helps you narrow down who your target audience is and how to do more marketing and how to attract more clientele. Another thing that does is reoccurring revenue. The people that can afford VersaGym services, right, stay with us for a long time because money is not an issue to them. Right? The people that are paying $40 at a brick and mortar gym who might have signed up for, one personal training session a week, maybe a $500 monthly package, might quit on you after 2 to 3 weeks. You never know. There's a lot more churn rate in brick and mortar gyms than there is with our niche high-end luxury clientele clients and services. Now let's talk a little bit about profit margins and return on investment, ROI, right? Everybody loves to talk numbers. At the end of the day, everyone's in this to make a profit, right? Obviously you want to make an impact. If not, you wouldn't be in the fitness industry or contemplating getting into the fitness industry. But at the end of the day, traditional gyms often operate on slim margins, sometimes as low as 10 to 15%. I saw a statistic the other day that the average gym owner in America makes around $11,000 in net profit per year. And why is that, right? Obviously, that person has generated hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue. But why is it that they're only netting 11,000? Well, obviously it's because of the high fixed costs that eat into the revenue. That's not even talking about the franchisor's royalty fees, right? And if you leased your equipment, you have to pay the lease on that equipment, which a lot of brick and mortar gyms operate on leased equipment. Where with VersaGym franchising, we don't lease the equipment, we purchase it. So that's one less monthly expense that our franchisees have to account for in their budgets. So it really helps with keeping the profit margins higher. And then on the other hand, you have mobile fitness franchises, right? Which we've seen profit margins of even higher than 50%, depending if it's owner operator or if it's an owner who handles it more as an investment and has a full-time manager and full-time trainer that handles the day-to-day for them. So we've seen profit margins of even north of 50%. Some of these health clubs are operating with 10, 20 plus employees to kind of help them with the demand and help them turn higher profit margins by churning out a lot more volume in their services. Obviously, with a mobile fitness concept, you don't need a large staff and you can even operate it solo or just with 1 or 2 trainers and managers. So the payroll is minimal. Then you have customizable services. Obviously with an Anytime Fitness franchise, you're offering, your gym memberships and then most likely offering some personal training. With Orange Theory franchising, you're offering interval workouts, right? Well, with VersaGym, right, with our mobile fitness franchise, we offer personal training, we offer stretch therapy, and we offer nutrition coaching and even corporate wellness programs. So now you have a lot more revenue streams that you can tap into. And instead of struggling to scale to 2, 3, 4, or 5 locations, you can really maximize your revenue within that one location and then have a lot more profit to play with if you do want to scale and open up multiple territories and locations. Obviously, in terms of return of investment, we have a much faster return with the mobile fitness franchise model. One, because the total initial investment costs are much lower with the mobile model, One, because the total initial investment with a mobile fitness franchise is a lot less than with a brick and mortar gym. So you're going to be able to get that investment back, that initial investment. You're going to get that return a lot quicker, right? Not just that, the mobile fitness services provide a very convenient and luxurious service. So our services cost a lot more than at a brick and mortar gym. So that also leads to a faster return on investment, which that's what every single investor, entrepreneur, and personal trainer that joins the VersaGym family, that's what they're looking to do, is how quickly can I be in the green and get my initial investment back. And then you have lifestyle benefits, right? Then you have lifestyle benefits for owners, right? Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about lifestyle. Owning a mobile fitness franchise isn't just about financial success. Owning a mobile fitness franchise isn't just about financial success, but it's also about freedom and fulfillment. I know owners of brick and mortar fitness franchises that have wanted to move to a different city, a different town, and they just do not feel comfortable enough with leaving their locations with a manager, right? They still feel the need to be at their locations and have not been able to move to the city or do things that they wanted to do with their personal lives because they own that brick and mortar gym franchise. With mobile fitness franchising, you can take your mobile fitness franchise wherever you want to go. Recently, we had a franchise in our system that was operating in a city. The two owners wanted to move their territory to a different part of their town because it was closer to where they live. They feel like their marketing and just their circle would be more involved in making their franchise successful by moving their territory to closer to where they live. So that's exactly what we did for them. We helped them transfer that territory to the one that they wanted, and now their business is much closer to their dwelling, to their place that they call home. And so they're able to oversee it a lot better. And so this is some of that freedom and fulfillment that owning a mobile fitness franchise can provide for you, right? Where it's a lot more fluid, right? You can move it different locations if you so wish. And then obviously you have the work-life balance. So every franchise is going to have their minimum operating hours. Obviously a franchise such as Anytime Fitness, right? You can operate 24/7 with or without front desk staff. So that's a pretty decent one. But there's a lot of brick and mortar gyms that you have to pay the front desk, to be there between, 6 or 5 in the morning all the way till, 7 or 8 p.m. at night. And those payroll costs definitely add up, right? Well, with a mobile fitness franchise, you have a lot more work-life balance where, if you want to take Friday afternoon off, here and there, you can do that. If you want to go on a vacation, you can do that, right? As long as your clients are happy, VersaGym as a brand, we're going to be, happy that you're able to take those vacations on the days that you want to take those vacations. And that's what we're all about. We're about empowering people to have that work-life balance through our mobile fitness franchising concept. Then you have the meaningful connection aspect, right? Like you're not just swiping cards at a desk. You're building real relationships with your clients. And this is one of the most profound things that we've found with our business model is that because you're going to people's homes, that is like their safe zone, right? People's homes, driveways is their safety zone. They feel safe there. So people open up to you a lot more. You get to meet their family while you're training them. In a lot of situations, we get entire families that come out to work out with us. So it becomes a super special part of this home's routine to have VersaGym come to their driveway with our mobile gyms and train them and their families. And so what happens is you create like this family environment with your clients, and that leads to them being with you for a lot longer. I always refer back to me and my wife's wedding where we had a 200-person wedding. And I never imagined, for 1 second in my life that I would have 200 people at my wedding. I wanted a 40, 50-person small wedding. And all of a sudden we start inviting clients and everyone's RSVPing. Yes, they're going. And we had all of our clients go, and it was a super special night. And we got to share that with our clients. So, it's more than just building, a profitable business. You're also building such an amazing and strong community that will help you flourish in all areas of life, not just your business and your finances. Then you have scalability, right? Like how easily or how difficult can you scale your fitness franchise? If we're talking about the brick and mortar scaling model, you have to go build an entire gym, right? This could take 3 to 6 months, sometimes even longer, right? Then you have to find the staffing. You have to do pre-launch marketing, right? Because you already have bills, right? Like a lot of times, before you're even done with the build out, you're already getting those monthly lease payment invoices that are due on the 1st or the 15th, right? So there's a lot more headaches with scaling a brick and mortar fitness franchise. With us, once you've mastered the model, scaling's pretty easy. All you do is you add another mobile unit, you hire another trainer, and then you just expand your territory, right? We can have, as many of these mobile gyms as there is demand in your area. And, we can have them to you, in some instances within 4 weeks. So it becomes a lot easier to scale with a mobile fitness franchise than it is with a brick and mortar gym. I often talk to our owners and operators, and I want them to think of our business concept, VersaGym, as sort of like an Amazon distribution center business, where basically our owners are paying for their territories and the rights, obviously, to operate as VersaGym, and for our SOPs and all of those things, and our help and marketing help. Basically, they own that territory, and you can have as many units, just like Amazon has, as many Sprinter vans, right, or mobile gyms as you want in that area, servicing as many clients as you set a goal to have. So it becomes a lot easier of a business model with a lot less overhead and a lot more profit margin. At the end of the day, mobile fitness franchising, especially with VersaGym, is a business model that's designed to give you control over your time and your income. So guys, if you're considering entering the fitness industry or you're looking for a smart investment, I encourage you to explore the mobile fitness franchise model. Obviously, here with VersaGym, we've created a unique opportunity to tap into a luxury clientele, avoiding the headaches of traditional gym ownership and building a profitable, flexible business. If this episode sparked your interest, reach out to us at VersaGym Franchising. We're here to help you build your future in fitness. Thanks for tuning in to VersaTalk's audio experience. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who might be interested in the fitness business. Appreciate it.